Hello guys, my name is Armin. In today's episode Learning SketchUp, I want to show you how to use inferencing. So this is a very basic, fundamental but important topic because it's going to help you draw precise and accurate. So you can draw with the plane, you can basically use the endpoint, you can reference to surfaces, edges, endpoints, midpoints, and it's going to help you draw faster and more accurately. Without further ado, let's jump into SketchUp.
In today's episode, I would like to share with you how to use inferencing to draw your objects if you have a complex logistic plans or an object that you're drawing, and also how to edit them. And inferencing is really important. It basically tells SketchUp guess what you want to do and give you an exact dimension. It's gonna exact direction, and you're drawing on the same plane. So which is that's the most important one. So the first thing, let's just start with the single line. So if I want to draw a line, you guys can see I can go with the green axis, red, or blue. Sometimes I don't know where those lines are when I draw a really complex object, so I can use arrow keys to constrain my line to any of these lines that I want. So right now I am just pushing my right arrow. It constrain this to the red, so I can draw here and then lock it, right? So basically lock it anywhere I go. I can now move it. I can do the left arrow and then basically just constrain it to the green axis. And if I do the up arrow and constrain it to the blue axis. So right now it's basically helped me to draw a line on these axes and then create a plane or a surface. So the line is not going up and down, and when you connect, you cannot create a surface. So any area that you don't see these lines and you want to constrain your lines to do this, you'll be able to basically use the arrow keys to draw. So I'm gonna hit escape right now real quick and then start something else. So that was the arrow key. So if you want to hold the shift keys, so let's say I find my green axis and I want to lock on these axis. So I just hold shift. So you see when I hold shift, the line get thickened and basically locks it on that line, and I'll be able to draw. So right now it locks. I want to go that way. Let's just put 10 feet, and then I want to lock it to my right axis. I want to go 20 feet. So right now I just want to kind of show you guys a few items right here. We already draw two lines. I can use the green axis. I can lock it basically, and then or hold shift. It basically locks it on the green axis. So I just, if I want to draw this, because if I don't see it, I might draw it in like a different angle. And the other thing I want to do, I want to inference a point. So I want to tell them, okay, I don't know what this distance is, but I want to draw it up to this point. So as soon as I hover over it, you can see it basically shows me on one side I am in line with the green axis, and also I'm drawing on the red axis, so you can see the basically dotted line in red. So I'm going to draw over here, and I'm going to go over here and connect, and I can create the surface. If you don't use this, it's going to be kind of hard to find those surfaces and kind of close the loop so you can create the surface, but I think inferencing items is going to help you a lot. And the other item I want to show you is a different type of inferencing. So if you want to inference a face, when you hover over that face, it turns into this blue diamond. If you want to hover an edge, it turns into a red square. Middle point turns into basically kind of circular blue shape, and then a circle green circle at the end or in the front that looks like the endpoint, and then the blue one. So you have four type that you can do. Basically it's the mid, end, surface, and edge. These are all the inferencing that you can inference your object to. So the object doesn't have to be on the same location. There has to be, if they can be away. So if I want to, let's say, do this point and then continue a line from here, I can do that, right? So I want to continue this. For example, going, let's say just go up like this way. I can inference that. If I want to inference that point, I can kind of look at this one. It kind of depends what you want to just hover over, and basically it's gonna give you that a little bit dimension and help where you want to draw it, right? So it doesn't matter where am I'm right now. This line is on the other side. I'm inferencing the endpoint on the left hand side of this object, and basically I can go right. And if I want to basically go inference the midpoint here, I can draw it over here. If I want to do any edge, I just basically go and surface or whatnot. So it doesn't has to be an actual object. You can go to a different one. So using all of these commands, the only two commands that you can use for inferencing, it's the move tool and then rotate. So the other ones is not going to work, but the move tool and rotate, because you're using directions, that's why it's basically you can use it as inferencing. So let me select all of this. I'm gonna do the move tool, right? So again, same thing. If I want to go up, use the up button, arrow key, right, left for all the access, right? Basically, it's gonna lock it over there for me, so I can kind of move them at that direction that I want. That's really easy that you can do. The next one is going to be the rotate. So rotate is basically right now just pivoting around the z axis. So if I want to move to like a different side and rotate it around a different basically a pivot point. Sometimes it's really hard when you have a complex geometry, but arrow keys are your best friend. So right now I'm doing the basically a left arrow for the y-axis, right arrow, and then also up arrow. It basically give me that pivot point, like which axis I can rotate my object around. So this is really important, and I think it's gonna help you guys a lot when you wanna rotate items. Okay, so let's just move these up, make it a cube. Let me circle all of them, kind of make it a group real quick. Okay, so it doesn't matter, it's a group, it's a shape, it's an object. You can basically be able to do that. So if I'm on the move tool, I can use the same thing. I basically come to this area, move, or if I go on this basically location, it turn into um, a rotate tool. But because you are on this surface and only this surface can be rotated around this line, you won't be able to move this. Like I'm pushing my arrow keys, nothing is gonna change. So just be aware, if you're using the move tool, using the grips on an object, you won't be able to turn it unless you go on the actual rotate and do a corner of the item. So right now I'll be able to kind of move this all around that I want, right? So let's say I just want to do this, move it this way. So I have these objects right now move. I know these lines are not aligned with this. So you can see when I go on the surface, that's going to be a different color. So this gray or black or whatever you guys want to call it, this tells me that this object or this face, it's not aligned on any axis, right? So I can rotate it around this area, but it's not on any um, kind of axis that I have. So when let's say you have this, and right now you want to draw a line parallel to this. So what's the best point to do that? So we know we can use inferencing, right? So I have a point, I go to like this, and you basically see when I draw a line, it turns into a kind of a magenta color. You see that basically a magenta this way and that way. That's telling me that this line, and you can see it's parallel to this edge, and if I go this way, it's gonna be parallel to this. So I can basically do this whole shift, and it's basically stops, and I can draw lines or objects or anything that are parallel to my object that we have. So I have this right now parallel to this. So if I do the arrow key once, it basically make it perpendicular to this, right? And then one more time, it goes back to parallel. So it's kind of move in like a different way. So I just want to make sure you can use the arrow key, you can use the inferencing to be parallel to an object and also be perpendicular to that object. So this is basically in terms of inferencing. I think this is not this is very important and fundamental in SketchUp when you draw. Just make sure you're drawing everything around this axis. Plus, if you want to do like something parallel, you can do perpendicular, and also you can use the arrow and shift keys, and those are gonna be your friend. Hope that this kind of add a little bit tips and tricks to your tool. If you like the content, please make sure to subscribe and leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.